Mike, you did such a great job on what President Obama's already done. But here's what I want to say. First, I hope I have some credibility on jobs. And I hope I have some credibility because I've already told you, I don't wake up in the morning mad at Republicans ever. I don't understand all this, hate-filled rhetoric. But I want to begin by one central fact. If you believe me on jobs and incomes in the budget, the financial crisis we suffered in September of 2008, just 6 weeks before the election, was profoundly severe, the worst we'd had since the Depression. And no president, I don't care what Governor Romney or anybody else says, no president could have healed all the damage from that crisis in 4 years. I'm fixing to give you a short version of Romney's argument and Obama's argument, and when you hear it and you think about how America is clearly on the way back, this shouldn't be even a close election. And the only reason it's a close election is that Governor Romney keeps telling people, oh, we left him a terrible mess, but he should have fixed it in 4 years in time. And so I'm in a school here where evidence is supposed to make some sense. The reigning experts in the world on financial crisis are two people, Kenneth Rogoff and Carmen Reinhardt, who wrote a book called This Time It's Different. And it's tongue-in-cheek. It really means this time it isn't different. All these crises are caused when people loan too much money on a speculative bubble with too little cash to back up the loan. That is, they violate what your mother told you when you were a kid. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So, Professor Rogoff, who won the Nobel Prize, and is, I believe, a modern Republican, sent me a copy of this book. And I read it, and I read the chapters on America twice, and I picked up the phone and called him. I thanked him for the book. And I asked him, I said, do you think that we could be fully recovered from this kind of damage in 4 years? He said, oh my goodness, no. No way in the wide world. He said, the average country takes 10 years or longer to get over something like this. And he said, first of all, you can't recover, like he said, we can't go back to your economy in the 90s. We have to build a 21st century economy. It can't be done in 4 years. And I said, how are we doing? Way better than the competition, he said. Better than Europe or the United States. He said, can we beat 10 years? He said, you bet we can, but we got to do the right thing. Now, whether people believe that may be the whole election. Because listen to the Romney argument. And here's, I can say, here's the Romney argument. We left him a mess, he didn't fix it, fire and put us back in. What are you going to do? What we did before, cut taxes on upper income people and tell you about the details after the election. But don't worry, because, hey, I'm a business guy, I look like a president, I act like a president. And people will be so elated when I am president that the economy will produce 12 million new jobs in the next 4 years. You've all heard that, haven't you? Now, I'm sure it's just a coincidence that just a few days before he came out with that 12 million jobs figure, a respected business forecaster, not an arm of the Republican or the Democratic parties, a business forecaster, Moody's Analytics, says that our economy will produce, in the next 4 years, 12 million jobs because of the things President Obama has already done. So put me in so I can claim credit for these jobs I had nothing to do with. I like President Obama's argument better. His argument is, we're coming back. We're not where we want to be. We got to build a modern 21st century economy. We got to restore the middle class, create jobs, raise incomes, and give poor people an honorable way to work their way in to the middle class. The way to do that is to invest in the right kind of tax cuts in manufacturing, in small business, in clean energy, and in new infrastructure like faster computer download speeds with modern broadband in rural America. It really helped small towns in rural Ohio. Really helped the poorest Americans, the Native Americans on reservations that don't have gambling, but could have a lot of other things. It would really help the clean energy industry. We are first or second in the world in the capacity to generate energy from the sun and the wind. Governor Romney often brags about Germany because they have the highest percentage of their income in exports. The ambassador from Germany is actually here today. Deutsche Bank, not the Sierra Club. Deutsche Bank says that Germany got 300,000 jobs out of the incentives it provided to develop solar and wind energy. And on a sunny spring day this year, they generated so much power from solar alone it was the equivalent of 20 nuclear power plants. Less than 1/4 our size, and the sun shines on average as much as it does in London. Not too much. By contrast, America ranks first or second in the world in capacity to generate electricity from sun and wind. So what did Barack Obama do? He said, well, we've got vigorous private markets. We can invest in private money in this. We don't have to have incentives that big, but we need some. The price has dropped by 70% in both areas in the last 3 years. It's dropped like a rock. 25,000 people in Ohio alone have jobs.